What's good? It's your boy Red John. I'm back in the building with another video. Like, comment, subscribe, and share this video, man. Toast me up, man. Give me up to 600 likes on this video. 600 likes. You know what I'm saying? And then I appreciate the love. Subbing up, you know what I'm saying? Share this video. You know what I'm saying? Hit that subscribe button. Turn that notification on so you know when I drop my next video. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's get straight into it.
What if we told you that a small West African country, often overlooked in global innovation, has just pulled off something that even wealthier nations haven't? What if this country, with no previous experience in automobile manufacturing, just built its electric car, one that competes with models from the biggest global brands? Burkina Faso has just unveiled its first locally made electric vehicle, and it's not just another news headline, it's a statement that Africa is no longer content with being a market for Western and Asian products. A statement that self-reliance is not a dream, but a reality in the making. A statement that innovation is no longer the privilege of a few wealthy nations. It belongs to those who dare to build, even when no one expects them to. But how did Burkina Faso do it? How did a country with no established car industry, no major assembly plants, and no deep financial back
Ain't that the part J2? J2, man? You can't pass.
reliance is not a dream, but a reality in the making? A statement that innovation is no longer the privilege of a few wealthy nations. It belongs to those who dare to build, even when no one expects them to. But how did Burkina Faso do it? How did a country with no established car industry, no major assembly plants, and no deep financial backing create something that puts it on the global electric vehicle map? Is this just a one-time success, or the start of a revolution that could transform the African continent? And most importantly, what does this mean for the rest of the world? Here, we would like to take a moment and thank you for supporting us and being a valued part of our strong community. And if you are not yet a member, we encourage you to join
Yeah, no, man.
us and help build an even stronger community together. Let's get started. Electric cars have been symbols of technological advancement, futuristic mobility, and sustainable progress for decades. Yet whenever discussions arise about who leads the EV revolution, the same names come up: Tesla in the US, Volkswagen in Germany, NIO and BYD in China. No one ever expects Africa to be part of the conversation. The assumption is that Africa is too far behind in industrialization to create its advanced electric vehicles. And yet, Burkina Faso has just shattered that belief. Yes, Burkina Faso, a West African nation that few would have imagined as a contender in the global auto industry, has officially unveiled its first locally made electric car. This is not an imported vehicle with minor modifications. It is a fully homegrown creation, developed by Burkina engineers, tailored for the realities of African roads and designed to meet the specific needs of African drivers. This achievement is about much more than just building a car. It is about proving that Africa can be a leader in high-tech innovation, not just a consumer of Western and Asian products. It is about economic independence, industrial transformation, and a future where African nations no longer have to rely on expensive imports to move forward.
Economic independence.
But the most important question remains: how did Burkina Faso pull this
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car. Okay, you ready? All right, $118 for car insurance.
off? How did a nation with no previous experience in the auto industry manage to achieve something that even wealthier African countries have struggled to do? Could this be the beginning of an industrial revolution in Africa, where more nations follow Burkina Faso's lead and start producing their advanced technologies? The story of this electric car is just getting started, but one thing is already clear. It has changed the perception
Is ready to go out? You eating the noodles? Okay.
of what Africa is capable of. Let's talk about how Burkina Faso pulled it off. Here's a reminder to please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black culture, history, civilization, and identity. Let's continue now. If you asked automotive experts 5 years ago whether Burkina Faso could build its electric car, they would have laughed. Not because they had anything against
Hello?
Burkina Faso, but because it simply seemed impossible. The country had no history in automobile manufacturing, no major assembly plants, and no supply chain for electric vehicle components. In contrast, countries like South Africa and Morocco have had foreign-backed car manufacturing industries for years, and yet neither of them has produced a fully locally designed electric vehicle. So, how did Burkina Faso succeed where others haven't? The answer lies in bold leadership, an innovative local team, and a determination to break free from economic dependence on foreign powers. The company behind this groundbreaking vehicle is Traoré, a Burkina-based startup focused on sustainable mobility. Rather than waiting for international investors to build an industry in Burkina Faso, Traoré took matters into its own hands. They developed the car locally, sourced materials from African suppliers wherever possible, and engineered the battery technology to be efficient in West Africa's climate. This is crucial because most EVs on the market are designed for Western and Chinese road conditions. Traoré's car was built specifically to handle Africa's unique driving challenges. The numbers are impressive. A 30-minute fast charge time is on par with Tesla's charging technology. This isn't a symbolic project meant to attract attention. This is a serious, competitive electric vehicle that meets.
That's it? 30 minutes? What? Full charge? But he said electric. I don't know. Like, basically, like, car could drive itself. Oh, he talking. No, I think he just talking about the, yeah. Like, so take gas, it's just better. But I don't really like them, the car that could drive itself. Like, no, I ain't messing with it. I ain't
modern
messing with it.
efficiency standards. What makes Burkina Faso's achievement even more
I'm trying to
incredible
do
is that it didn't rely
it.
on foreign companies for assembly or battery technology. Most global automakers, even in wealthier nations, are still heavily dependent on China for EV batteries. Burkina Faso skipped that step, choosing instead to develop and manufacture the
Hey, I want one of those though, but I want to test the truck first.
technology locally. This decision not only keeps profits within the country, but also strengthens technological expertise among Burkinabe engineers and workers. If this sounds familiar, it's because China followed a similar path in.
Here's the shocking part. They didn't win the lottery, they didn't inherit a dime, and they never dealt with shady insurance companies or expensive lawyers. Instead, they used a simple tool so effective that insurance companies
its rise to dominance in the EV market. Just a few decades ago, China was not a major player in automobile production. It relied heavily on imports and foreign expertise. But through consistent investment in local industries, a strong government push for self-reliance, and a commitment to technological innovation, China overtook the West in EV production. Now, Chinese electric vehicles are dominating global markets. Could Burkina Faso follow the same path? Could it use this electric car as a launchpad for an entire automotive revolution in West Africa?
Oh, yes, I
That
do.
depends on whether this is just a one-time success or the beginning of a long-term strategy. Many African countries have had one-off technological successes.
I think they could do it again. You know what I'm saying? I think they just try to contract it. I think they just keep doing it and that's that. Everybody is doing it and it work exactly how they, you know what I'm saying, perfected it to work. You do it.
A promising invention here, a successful startup there. But very few have managed to take these isolated achievements and
That's a $1 million problem.
transform them into long-term, large-scale industries. So, will Burkina Faso's electric car be just another headline, or will it mark the beginning of something much bigger? Under the leadership of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, Burkina Faso has made it clear that this is not just a one-time event. This electric car is part of a broader vision for self-reliance and economic independence. It is not a marketing stunt. It is a calculated step toward building a sustainable, competitive industry. The government has already expressed its commitment to scaling up production.
Right.
Plans are in motion to develop a local supply chain for EV components, ensuring that future models remain affordable and that Burkina Faso doesn't become dependent on expensive imports. There are discussions about mass production, which would mean creating thousands of jobs, training local engineers, and positioning Burkina Faso as a leader in the African EV market. This has the potential to completely transform Burkina Faso's economy. Right now, like many African nations, Burkina Faso spends a significant amount of money importing vehicles.
You know what I'm saying? You need I think one good thing, like, you invent, somebody invent, like, one good thing that not only to help your community, your country out, and turn around and go worldwide, you know what I'm saying? That changes a lot of things around, you know what I'm saying? Invent it. If you invent, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? That's why I've been trying to come up with like something from scratch, you know what I'm saying? Doing something from scratch. It take a lot of hard work and dedication, motivation. and, and patience. You feel me?
Vehicles from abroad. If the country shifts toward producing its vehicles, those billions of dollars could stay within the national economy, helping to build infrastructure, schools, and healthcare instead of going into the pockets of foreign automakers. Burkina Faso's success is also inspiring other African nations to think bigger. Countries like Kenya, Nigeria, and South Africa have long discussed developing their own EV industries, but many have been hesitant due to the high costs and reliance on foreign supply chains. Burkina Faso's breakthrough proves that it is possible to build an electric vehicle industry from the ground up without waiting for Western or Chinese companies to do it first. Of course, the next challenge is scaling up. Right now, this electric car is a proof of concept, but for it to truly make an impact, it needs to be produced in high numbers, sold at an affordable price, and supported by a strong charging infrastructure. That brings us to an even bigger question. Can Burkina Faso's locally made electric car compete with global giants like Tesla? When people hear about an electric car being made in Africa, their first reaction is often skepticism. How could a country like Burkina Faso, with no prior experience in automobile manufacturing, produce an EV that can stand alongside the likes of Tesla, Volkswagen, or BYD? These companies have been refining electric vehicle technology for years, spending billions on research and development.
The gray area between hacker-hunter is not as gray as it used to be.
They have global supply chains, cutting-edge factories, and brand loyalty built over decades. Burkina Faso, by comparison, is an unexpected contender in the automotive industry. But here's the thing. Competing with Tesla doesn't mean copying Tesla. Burkina Faso's Traoré electric car isn't trying to be a luxury vehicle packed with the latest artificial intelligence and self-driving features. Instead, it is designed to be practical, durable, and affordable, catering
I'll draw that. When I can, with all that, you know what I'm saying? But I like how you just broke that down and explained that. I buy one of those.
specifically to African consumers. And that's exactly why it could succeed. One of the biggest challenges with electric cars in Africa has been their unsuitability for local road conditions. Most EVs are built with Western infrastructure in mind: smooth highways, frequent charging stations, and well-developed service networks. But many parts of Africa, especially rural areas, still lack these conveniences. Roads can be rough, long distances between cities make charging a challenge, and imported EVs are often too expensive for the average citizen. This is where Burkina Faso's Traoré car has a major advantage. It has been engineered to withstand Africa's harshest driving conditions. The suspension is designed to handle rough terrain. The battery system is optimized for hot climates, and the body is built for durability rather than luxury aesthetics. While Tesla's vehicles may struggle on unpaved roads, Traoré's car is meant to thrive where others fail. Then there's the question of affordability. One of the reasons why Tesla's vehicles are out of reach for most African consumers is their price tag. Even Tesla's cheapest model costs more than what many Africans earn.
Hey, I know they got Teslas. Do they got Teslas motorcycles? You know what I'm saying? Do they got electric motorcycles, like, you know what I'm saying, the real electric motorcycles?
In several years. Imported electric cars from Europe and China aren't much better. High shipping costs, import duties, and maintenance expenses make them unaffordable for the majority of people. The Traoré car, however, is being developed with affordability in mind. Since it is made locally, there are no excessive import fees, no reliance on foreign labor, and no expensive foreign supply chains driving up the cost. If mass production becomes a reality, the price of this vehicle could be significantly lower than anything currently available on the market. Of course, competing in the global EV market isn't just about making a good car. One of Tesla's greatest strengths is its charging infrastructure. the company has built thousands of superchargers across the world, making it easy for owners to recharge their vehicles. In contrast, most African countries still lack a widespread EV charging network, and Burkina Faso is no exception. Without enough charging stations, even the best electric car will struggle to gain mass adoption. However, this challenge also presents an opportunity. Burkina Faso could leverage its abundant solar energy to create a network of solar-powered charging stations, making EVs more practical in areas where electricity grids are unreliable. Instead of relying on fossil fuel-based power, Burkina Faso's EV industry could be built around clean, renewable energy, further reducing costs and environmental impact. If Burkina Faso can scale up production, maintain affordability, and develop a charging infrastructure that fits Africa's unique energy landscape, Etioua's car could become not just a competitor, but a leader in the African EV market. And if that happens, it won't just be Burkina Faso that benefits. It could trigger an electric vehicle revolution across the continent. And that brings us to the next big question. What does this mean for Africa's economy as a whole? Could this car change the way the continent thinks about manufacturing, innovation, and self-reliance? Burkina Faso's entry into the electric vehicle industry is not just about making cars. It's
This game, you're not ready for it.
about challenging Africa's role in the global economy. For too long, African nations have been treated as markets rather than producers. The continent imports billions of dollars worth of goods every year while exporting mostly raw materials. Cars, in particular, are one of the biggest drains on African economies. Nearly every vehicle on African roads is imported, often second-hand, from Western or Asian countries. These imports are expensive, and they do little to help build local industries or create jobs. But what if Africa flipped the script? What if, instead of buying used vehicles from the West, African nations started producing their cars? Burkina Faso's locally made electric car is a powerful symbol of what is possible. It proves that Africa can build its industries, develop its technology, and take control of its economic future. If Burkina Faso succeeds in turning this electric vehicle into a full-scale industry, the economic benefits will be enormous. First, there's job creation. Right now, unemployment remains a major challenge in many African nations, particularly among young people. A thriving automotive industry would mean thousands of new jobs, not just in car manufacturing, but in battery production, charging station construction, maintenance services, and more. Then there's the issue of trade balance. By producing vehicles locally, Burkina Faso can reduce its dependence on imports, keeping more money inside the country. This shift could also inspire other African nations to follow suit, leading to a more interconnected regional economy where African countries trade with each other, instead of always looking overseas. But the impact goes beyond just economics. There's a psychological shift happening. Burkina Faso's success is sending a message to the rest of Africa. It's proving that innovation is not limited to the West or China. It shows that African nations do not have to wait for foreign investments or international aid to build their industries. They have the talent, the resources, and the vision to do it themselves. Other countries are already taking notice. Kenya, Nigeria, and South Africa have all made moves toward developing their electric vehicle industries. But Burkina Faso's success might be the push they need to take things further. If multiple African nations start building their EVs, it could create a continental shift toward high-tech manufacturing, breaking the long-standing cycle of economic dependency. There's also the environmental angle. Africa is one of the regions most vulnerable to climate change, with rising temperatures and shifting weather patterns threatening agriculture, water supplies, and overall stability. Transitioning to electric vehicles would reduce pollution, cut oil dependency, and promote cleaner energy solutions, which could be a major step forward in addressing these challenges. And what about the rest of the world? Burkina Faso's achievement is forcing global automakers to rethink their assumptions about Africa. For years, Western and Asian car companies have treated Africa as a dumping ground for used cars.
Basically, they turned around and used them parts. But no, you know, as time go on, you know what I'm saying? People evolve. You know what I'm saying? Even if they been that way for a certain amount, you know what I'm saying? Over time, you know, some people it take a long time to evolve. You feel me? Not saying it took them a long time to evolve, but you know, I think things work for the better. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And depending on the person, you know what I'm saying? Depending on the people, you know, and it's just listen.
But now, with African nations stepping into the EV game, these companies may have to compete with locally made vehicles, changing the entire dynamic of the market. If Burkina Faso's electric car can spark an industry across Africa, it will be one of the most important economic shifts in modern history. It will mean that the world can no longer ignore Africa's potential in high-tech industries. It will mean that future generations of Africans will grow up knowing that their continent is not just a follower, but a leader in global innovation. Also, when a country achieves something groundbreaking, the impact often extends far beyond the initial success. Burkina Faso's locally made electric car is more than just an automotive breakthrough. It is a statement of self-reliance, a blueprint for innovation, and, perhaps most importantly, a catalyst for transformation in
Looking for an easier way to get that LLC next to your business name? Say hello to Taylor Brand. You just go to their site, answer a few questions, and that's it.
other industries. While much of the discussion has focused on how this could inspire more African nations to build their EVs, there's another, less obvious question. What other industries could this revolutionize? One of the most immediate effects is the growth of local battery technology. Electric cars rely on high-performance batteries, and right now, Africa is one of the richest continents in lithium, cobalt, and other key minerals needed for EV production. Yet, instead of refining and using these resources locally, most African countries export raw materials to China, Europe, and the US, only to buy back the finished products at a much higher cost. But Burkina Faso's decision to develop its own EV technology batteries. If Burkina Faso invests in this sector, it could become West Africa's battery hub, reducing dependence on global supply chains and keeping more wealth within the continent. Beyond batteries, the push for electric mobility could reshape Africa's energy sector. One of the biggest concerns with EVs is charging infrastructure, and in regions where electricity grids are weak or unreliable, this is a major challenge. But Burkina Faso's success presents a unique opportunity. What if the continent powered its EV revolution using solar energy? Africa has some of the highest solar energy potential in the world, yet solar technology remains underdeveloped in many areas. If EV adoption rises, it could force African governments to invest more heavily in solar farms and decentralized energy systems, creating a cleaner, more sustainable energy future. There's also the question of education and workforce development. Historically, Africa has had to import technical expertise from foreign countries to run high-tech industries. But if more African nations invest in EV production, this will drive demand for skilled engineers, battery scientists, and software developers. Universities and technical institutes will need to expand their curricula to train the next generation of African.
Well, I don't know how it's moving, but I heard like our money is like $100 of our money is like I think like 100,000 of their money. I'm not really sure how it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying?
African innovators. Over
But
time,
but but I did hear I think due to the bigger figure I did hear I used to work. I still be watching his videos when he went to Africa.
this could raise Africa's standing in the global tech industry, allowing the continent to compete in fields beyond just electric vehicles. Then there's the broader cultural shift. For decades, African consumers have been conditioned to believe that the best products come from the West or China. Locally made alternatives have often been dismissed as inferior, simply because they weren't foreign. But the success of Burkina Faso's electric car is changing this perception. If a homegrown company can produce a competitive EV, what else can African entrepreneurs build? This could inspire a wave of innovation in other industries, from locally made consumer electronics to high-tech agriculture solutions. At its core, Burkina Faso's electric car isn't just about mobility. It's about confidence, ambition, and the realization that Africa doesn't have to wait for the world to innovate. It can lead. And while the road ahead won't be without challenges, one thing is certain: this is only the beginning of a much larger transformation. Do you think Africa will grow as a great EV industry? Should we thank Traoré for this? Let us know in the comments section. What other sectors do you expect Traoré to improve? Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If so, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We have decided to bring videos on something nobody talks about: the Black culture, civilization, history, and evidence about how glorious Blacks have been. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.
Yeah. But that's it for this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and turn me up.